So the real question isn't just, should I trust people again? It's, what's it costing me to keep myself safe? Welcome to Project Loving Myself, the podcast where we dive deep into the messy, beautiful journey of self-discovery, self-love, and healing. I'm your host, Sanaya Gurnamal, relationship reinvention coach and love alchemist. The most important relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. Let's start this journey together on Project Loving Myself. Okay, quick riddle. What takes years to build and seconds to break? Trust, of course. And if you're listening to this, I'm guessing you felt that kind of break too. I grew up having my trust broken enough times that I eventually hit this point where I was like, nope, I'm not doing this anymore. So I stopped trusting people. I kept everyone at arm's length. I kept my expectations low. I didn't let people fully see me, not the real me. And yes, on one level, it protected me from getting hurt again, but it also made me feel so alone, isolated, and honestly, not any happier. Until I realized something really important. I wasn't wrong for wanting trust, but I was asking other people to carry the responsibility of making me feel safe. And that's a job most people can't hold, even if they want to. So today, we're going to unpack how to rebuild trust in a way that doesn't make you naive, but actually frees you. Because when your trust is rooted in you, you can let people be who they are without compromising your peace. Welcome back to Project Loving Myself, the podcast about how to love yourself, especially when life gets messy. I'm Sanaya. In this episode, we're talking about what actually happens inside you when your trust gets broken, why shutting down feels safer but costs you more than you realize, and a few practical trust moves you can start using right away, especially in your relationships. Because the goal isn't to become someone who trusts everyone. Of course not. The goal is to become someone who isn't afraid to trust. Because you know, even if your trust gets broken, it won't break you. When someone breaks your trust, it doesn't just hurt because of what they did. It hurts because trust is this unspoken agreement in your head. You're basically thinking, okay, I can relax with you. I can count on you. I don't have to filter or protect myself here. So when that gets broken, the pain isn't only heartbreak, it's disorientation. It's the moment your nervous system realizes the thing I thought was safe wasn't. And after that, your brain does what it's designed to do. It tries to make sure you never have to feel that again. So you start protecting yourself. You overthink. You read between the lines. You assume the worst. You keep your distance. And listen, this makes perfect sense. But here's the trap. Sometimes the protection becomes a prison. Because when you stop trusting, you don't just avoid pain. You stop hoping. You stop letting people in. You stop saying yes to the very things you want. And without realizing it, you start shutting the door on opportunities and connection that were meant for you. So the real question isn't just, should I trust people again? It's, what's it costing me to keep myself safe? And is that cost worth it? So let's talk about what mistrust costs you. When you stop trusting, you think you're avoiding pain, but you're also avoiding life. And it shows up in so many ways. In relationships, it can look like keeping one foot out the door. Not communicating your needs because what's the point? Choosing emotionally unavailable people because you never have to fully risk your heart. Testing people instead of being honest. Withholding honesty because honesty is vulnerability. In friendships, it can look like not asking for help, assuming people won't show up anyways, always being the giver because receiving feels uncomfortable. And it doesn't stop with people. It can affect your relationship with life itself. You stop expecting good things. You stop being open to possibility. You stop letting yourself even believe, maybe this could work out. Because somewhere inside, trusting started to feel naive, like you were being foolish. Trust isn't about believing someone will never hurt you, because anyone can hurt you. Even a good person, under the wrong circumstances, can break your heart. So the solution isn't to stop trusting, it's to change where you put your trust. So here's the truth about trust. This is what I've learned through my own life and through coaching women through betrayal. First, not everyone is trustworthy. And that's not pessimism, that's discernment, that's reality. If you've ever found yourself trusting someone who keeps showing you who they are, you know exactly what I mean. Second, sometimes betrayal teaches you something, not because you deserved it, not that, but because it reveals something you couldn't see clearly before. Like when you ignored your intuition. Like when you gave too much because you felt you needed to earn love. Like when you kept hoping someone would become who they weren't, even though they could never be. And third, and this is the one that's a little harder to accept, even good people can hurt you. Sometimes it's not malicious. Sometimes it's just human. Sometimes it's their fear or their immaturity. And sometimes it's just their own unhealed stuff, which means trust can never be guaranteed. So if trust can't mean you will never hurt me, then what is trust? Here's how I define it. Trust is not you won't hurt me. Trust is I can handle it even if you do. Not because I trust everyone, but because I trust myself. I can speak up. I can set a boundary. I can walk away. I can recover. I can come back to myself. That's the shift. Trust stops being something you gamble on with other people and becomes something you build inside of you. And here's something I've noticed. When you don't trust yourself, it's really hard to trust anything bigger than you. Because if you don't feel like you're on solid ground, then trust the universe can sound like, okay, but what if it doesn't work out? What if I get hurt again? But once you've built self-trust, once you know deep down, I can handle whatever happens, that's when trusting a higher power becomes so much easier. Because you're not handing your life over in a helpless way, you're letting go of the need to control every outcome. So whether you call it God, the universe, spirit, divine timing, whatever fits for you, it becomes a simple mindset shift. I'll do my part, and I trust I'm being guided. And that kind of trust, it's calming, it's grounded, it's real. Because you're not depending on life to be predictable. It's not. You're depending on yourself to stay connected through it all. Okay, so let's bring this down to real life. What does trusting yourself actually look like? Because it's not just a mindset, it's a set of moves. So here are 5 simple ways to build self-trust. Number 1, trust yourself to speak up. You stop swallowing discomfort. You say the thing early before resentment builds. Hey, that didn't feel good. Can we talk about this? I need clarity. 2, trust yourself to hold boundaries. You trust that it's safe to say no. You trust that you don't have to earn love by overgiving. And when someone crosses a line, you don't pretend it didn't happen. You address it. You talk to them about it. 3, trust yourself to walk away. This is a big one because so many women stay in shaky situations, not because it's right, but because being alone feels scarier than staying uncomfortable. Self-trust sounds like, I can leave. I can grieve. I can rebuild. I will be okay. 4, trust your inner guidance. You stop forcing yourself to trust someone who hasn't earned your trust. You let actions speak louder than words. You stop rationalizing or making excuses when red flags show up. 5. Trust yourself to recover. This is the one that changes everything because life will disappoint you sometimes. People will disappoint you sometimes. And when you trust that you can repair, regulate, and come back to yourself, you stop living in fear and you start living in power. Now, here are some practices that help you strengthen this. You can do a few of these questions. Either you can journal on it or you can ask yourself these questions quietly. Where am I currently putting my trust in others over myself? What would it look like if I trusted myself instead? What is one self-trust action I can take this week? Is it one conversation, one boundary, one decision, one ending, one act of choosing yourself? Okay, let's bring it all together. When trust gets broken, of course you pull back. That's you protecting your heart. But the goal isn't to shut your heart down forever. The goal is to stop handing your power to the past. Not by trusting everyone again, but by trusting you. Trusting yourself to speak up, to choose better, to see clearly, to walk away when you need to recover, to come back to you. Because trusting yourself doesn't mean you'll never get hurt. It means you won't fall apart if you do. And when you trust yourself like that, you can stay open without being reckless. You can love without losing yourself. You can believe again without feeling naive. If this episode hit because trust has been broken so many times you don't even know how to love anymore, take my Heal Your Heartbreak quiz. I'll show you the subconscious pattern you keep slipping into to protect yourself from getting hurt again. And that's why you can't seem to move on or love like you want to. It takes just 2 minutes and it's linked in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen. If this episode landed for you, share it with someone who has been hiding herself from the world. Post your biggest takeaway and tag me so I can celebrate you. And make sure you're subscribed to my channel, Sanaya Gurnamal. New videos drop every week. Now here's a quote to carry with you this week. The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them. And that was said by Ernest Hemingway. And my love, you don't have to live your life bracing for betrayal. You're allowed to open your heart, bare your soul, and be your glorious self. You are loved.